Mysore, but it's, if you fall behind,
You can just stop. You can take breaks. I'm not mean.
Yeah, and there was just things that I had not been introduced to yet, so I just kind of watched everybody else, which was nice to.
thinking that's like in these classes, we've been doing the Mysore, but not these classes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's not scary. I mean, it's scary because it's something new, but I would say try the level 2 class first. And then from there, you'll be able to, because the lead class is a little bit bumped up, isn't it?
yes.
Because we do more vinyasas in between everything. We don't skip anything.
So you had me scared, and then I was like, great, I'm doing okay with
You
this.
did great. Okay, so welcome to RC Why We Get Past. I'm glad you guys are here. I actually, I mean, I love my family, but I would rather be anywhere else right now, you know? So it's really nice to be here. And if it feels too bright too, I opened those up because I thought it'd be pretty to watch the stuff come in here. Let's just lie down. Just lie down on your backs. So 2 options, knees hanging together with the feet apart, or feet together with the knees apart. The hands can be on the sides of the body or in the belly, or anywhere near there, just so you can kind of feel the breath and start to connect with your breath. And know that you can always change your mind. If you have your knees open, you can close them at any time if it gets to be too much.
Hips started turning again while we were gone, and I don't even know why, but we walked a lot.
Did you? So maybe just some weights.
That's a lot.
So if it feels okay to straighten your legs, you can straighten your legs too, or just be comfortable right now. And so one of the breaths that we use we've talked about this a little bit in alignment class, and we actually use a strap around the rib cage to feel it, but it's called the thoracic breath. And a lot of the times when we're going through postures, if we're sitting in the pose for 5 breaths or so, we want to continue to lengthen and lengthen and lengthen and go deeper into the pose. And we do that with thoracic breathing. And it's called that because there are 3 different parts of the spine. You have your cervical spine, which is the neck, the thoracic spine, which is the rib cage, and then below that is the lumbar spine. You don't have to memorize that. But today, when I talk about do your thoracic breathing, you're going to do what I'm about to show you. Take a few more breaths, just lying down. And Sherry, do you feel like your inner groins are pulling, or is that comfortable?
I feel a little here.
Yeah. Do you feel like you can soften? Because I know that you're pretty tight there, so you probably, if it starts to get to be too much, I would just straighten your legs. So you don't want to pull anything. Yeah.
As long as it's a gentle pull.
Okay. All right. So when you breathe in, you feel the rib cage, right? Like all sides of the rib cage expand. Right now you're lying down, so you're going to feel the back press into the mat. But as you inhale, I want you to feel the side ribs expand as well as the chest. So it'll be when we're standing up, back, chest, just the entire rib cage expands open at the same time. So you're filling up the entire cavity as you breathe in. And then just breathe out normally. We're going to explore this sitting up as well. I have a little quote for you, a note from the universe. I have this box of notes from the universe that a student gave me that are really, really neat. They're supposed to be written in the perspective of the universe to you. So the universe is telling you today, sometimes, instead of running from something scary in your life, it's easier to learn not to be scared of it. Let it stay. Pull up a chair, share some teeth. Tally ho, the universe. Besides, you're bigger. And you have wings. And I love that. And even Rob, when we were talking about meditation today, just instead of attaching emotions to things like being scared or I don't like this, just observe what's going on. Do that with your practice. One more breath here. It could be a regular passive breath, it could be rib cage, thoracic breathing. But just take one more deep breath and then exhale through the mouth. Use your hands, if your knees are out, use your hands to bring the knees back together. And then everybody takes a stretch. So straighten the legs if they're not already, bring the arms overhead, and just take a long, long stretch. And then bend the knees one at a time as you bring the arms down and hug the knees up towards the chest. Rock left to right. We're going to keep the knees up. So do a couple more rocks and then come to center and just be still. Keep the knees up, extend the arms out like a letter T, and drop the knees to the right. So we're coming into a twist here. We're using the abdominals to control our legs. Yeah. And if this feels too deep of a twist, just stack your hips a little bit more and just bring your butt more towards the center. And so you can explore the ribcage breathing in a twist. It's definitely not going to be as effective or feel the same, but it is a good way for you to feel what part of the body is receiving, your inhale and what part of the body is compressed. Because we're always seeking balance, even in a twist where we're imbalanced. We're always trying to lengthen and open a little bit more. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. Have your eyes closed or just be staring at one spot. And on that third exhale, you're going to engage the abdominals, bring the knees up towards the chest. And then we're going to rock to the left. So knees will drop to the left. Here. Notice what you're doing with the muscles in the face. See if you can soften the jaw, soften the throat. Breathe through any sensation you're having. Reasonable sensation. Take one more breath. As you exhale this time, just come to center, bring the knees up towards the ceiling, but your feet on the floor. Center the pelvis. Okay. And then separate the feet again, so you can do rocking of the knees back and forth, like windshield wipers. Just drop the knees left to right, just to kind of twist the hips a little bit. And then you're going to roll onto your side and flip yourself over onto your belly. And if you want to come to hands and knees and bring your head towards the front, towards me first, you can. It really doesn't matter, but we will end up probably going hands and knees. So you're either going to move now or move later. Flip yourself over onto your belly. And so once you're on your belly, because we are going to stretch the front of the legs a little bit, use your left arm as a pillow and grab the right ankle. If you've been doing this a little bit, see if you can grab below the ankle. Just always push yourself, right? Smartly. If you want to go deeper, you can come up to forearms. But really, you can stay right here. And just push the hips into the mat. If you're really tight, you might just even be here, or you might need a strap. It looks like you all Robin, I'm gonna come check on you, because I know you haven't been using this. Okay, you're good. Let's check today. Do you want a strap? No, okay. It's okay in your knee though, right? Okay. Take another breath or two here. I know for myself, I sometimes feel stretching under the kneecap for this, which is actually okay. It's that sharp pain that we want to always avoid. Go ahead, exhale, release, switch arms, and do the other side. So you can be resting your forehead on your arm, or you can bring your arm up, come onto the forearm. Whatever, this can be a resting pose, but your shoulder blades are still working because the shoulders are pulling back and you're stretching the lower half of the body. Next exhale, go ahead and release. Bring yourself up to hands and knees. So you're gonna come up to hands and knees, separate the knees, bring the big toes together, and then sit back on your heels. So coming into child's pose, so forehead on the mat, and I'm just, you can roll your forehead back and forth on the mat. Sometimes that just feels really releasing. Or find stillness. You decide what your body needs, as long as you're breathing. So we're gonna try that thoracic breath here. Now that there's nothing compressing any parts of the body. So as you inhale, expand all four sides, air quotes, of your rib cage evenly, as if you're pressing the ribs out into your sports bra strap or something like that. It will touch all at the same time. Just exhale normally. If your shoulders are feeling a little tight, you can press the hands into the mat. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. So inhale, exhale, evenly expand the rib cage. On your third exhale, you lift the head, walk your hands towards the body. And then bring your knees back together. Be sure that your hands are set up the way that we've talked about as far as spread fingers, wrist creases, pressing, really evenly pressing these parts of the hand, but really all of the opposite sides of the knuckles. We just want to make sure we're balanced here. If you press the pinky, the ball nut of the pinky finger into the mat, you're gonna feel back here engage, right? Like triceps, back of the arm. You feel that? Now press the ball nut of the first finger. And you feel the inside of the arm and the biceps, right? So that's why we want to do it balanced, to have those muscles and to ground the upper arm bones. So cat pose here. Inhale, lift the tail, lift the chin. Let the head be the last thing that lifts. We've really been focusing this week on not letting the head be in control. So let that be the last thing that drops. And just keep going back and forth with your regular breathing. So focusing more on connecting the movement with the breath. And you can even take 2 breaths. If you want to take 2 breaths as you're dipping, feel the spine really release into the back. And as you're arching, get the shoulder blades as separated as you can. Press the thighs towards the face. Do 2 more rounds here. And then Go ahead and come back to center. So flat back. Take the top of the hand, press it into the mat. We're stretching the wrists. And you know, typically as we're doing this, we're probably gonna focus on the toes a little bit too. Just for a minute though. Yeah, just do one at a time, so you, yeah. And then go ahead and release. Other side. Be sure that this hand is pretty far in front before you flip over that left hand. You can sit back, straighten your arm. Do you guys all feel it pretty deeply when you're doing this? Okay, even though none of us in here, oh, you're left-handed, aren't you?
Yeah.
So is this your tighter side?
Yeah.
Okay. I always remember lefties. Do people do that with you a lot? They remember that you're left-handed?
I don't know.
Go ahead and release. My mom is left-handed, so I always remember. Okay, curl the toes under. I always thought it was such a cool thing. It always looks so cool to watch her, right? Curl the toes under. You can stay right here and just breathe through it. If your toes don't cramp here, then we're good. If you can go a little further, go a little further, but only go as far as you can go. Be honest with your body, be nice to your body. Yeah, because if you can go further, go further. You guys are miserable right now. No, but you're all up, which is really good. Okay, come back down. Just release the toes on top of the mat. This is really, they do this without even bending the toes. People will just do this in a class just because it releases so much energy. It feels good, doesn't it? All right, bring your hands one palm length forward. Curl the toes under. This is not, I might have to take my denim shirt off. I don't know if I can do down dog and denim. Bring your hips up and back. Come into your downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out or be still. Figure out what you need here. If you need stillness, be still. Don't think about it too much. Just do it. Everybody breathes. Good. Soften the heels towards the mat. Lengthen through the tailbone. We're going to drop back down to our knees. Uncurl the toes, and then this right leg is going to come forward. So bring that foot forward, and then just come up onto your thigh. So this is where the cushioning comes in too, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I was always taught, and I'll share with you guys too, it's because you obviously need to be comfortable. I mean, sometimes I have to put a towel or something underneath my kneecap if it's on a hard floor. But if your knees can tolerate being on a thinner mat, do it, because it'll make your knees stronger. It'll keep them healthy. Same thing with the wrists. They'll just get stronger. So here, you want to have your hands on your thigh because we're going to try that thoracic breath sitting up now. So I'm going to take my shirt off anyways, because you can kind of visually see how it happens. Okay, so doing the thoracic breath, it looks like you really have to concentrate. So I'm going to do one. Okay, so I'm going to inhale. And so I have the length, and now I'm going to keep the length and exhale. And I'm going to go again. And I'm just going to keep doing this until I get as tall as I can. Could you see me kind of like shifting everything up? Okay, so just trying to get all of that breath even. Robin, you might not have been able to see it, but it just is like you're stacking the breath up and just keeping the spine long at the same time. All right, let's go.
Like a bouncy house.
Like waving back and forth.
Yeah, well, or just like as you were blowing up, you could tell
Yeah.
you were going in different areas.
Yes. So, and that's why when I say certain things like bring your breath to your hips, bring your breath to the back right lung. Eventually in yoga, you start doing that. You start controlling it to different areas. Even if it's just in the mind, like obviously I'm not bringing the breath to my hip, but that awareness. Okay, so take a couple of breaths here. Keep the length and exhale. And then look down at your foot and bring the hands down. Lift the back knee. Okay. We're going to drop the back heel. So coming up into warrior one, get your feet nice and stable, inhale all the way up. This is probably the hardest thing we're gonna do all day. Keep the hands separated. I know we do this in Ashtanga, but keep the hands separated. And I want you to try the thoracic breathing in your warrior one. Sorry, Robin, if I'm doing that super loud in your ear. So pressing the feet, and you're really just trying to get the rib cage as far away from the pelvis as possible. And if you feel like you're not doing it right, don't worry about it. Just keep trying. The good news is that you're bringing lots of oxygen to your body right now. That's a benefit. And as you lengthen, soften the shoulders. Good. Look down at your foot. Bring the hands down. Come to your knees first if you have to, but we are going to end up in down dog. Nice. Okay. So drop down to your knees. Bring the left foot forward. I think that being upside down, like down dog, and also that cat pose squeeze, it does squeeze out your lungs. So any allergies you have. All right, hands up to the thigh. Breath. So when you're in a pose like this, it doesn't seem like we're doing much, but this is a balance pose. Squeeze your thighs towards each other, lift everything in and up as you breathe in. Once you've gotten as tall as you can go, take a breath. And then look down at your foot, hands down. Sometimes people use blocks here. So if you do have blocks that if you feel like you're not able to touch, blocks are an option. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, and then drop the heel. Remember, you can be heel to heel. Your heels can be far apart. It depends on your hips. Press the feet and inhale, come up. Oof. I had a massage yesterday and did a lot of work on this here, so I felt that. Good. Reach to your fingertips, lift, and then soften the shoulders, plant the feet down. Do you guys feel it? Even if it's hard, do you feel like you're able to wake up the back body and the front body with the breath? You're like, huh? When you're stretched out,
Oh, it's a little harder to feel it.
yeah,
When your arms are down.
Feel the back, but not that one.
it forces you to deepen your arms more. But yeah, drop your tailbone. Okay, look down. Bring your hands down. And then come into downward facing dog. Just gonna stay here for a few minutes. Okay. Inhale, look up and step forward. Okay, so we're not standing up just yet. We're gonna exhale and fold. If you have your block nearby, you can use that in this here for your hands. I think you guys are all good because you bend at the knees is always an option. We're gonna bring the left hand to the outside of the right shin. Okay. Yep, and then bring the right fingertips up. Up or back. Just twist. Good. And then bring that right hand down, grab the outside of the other leg. Fingertips up. And down. Keep both hands on your thighs and start to lift and lengthen. We're just halfway up here. My natural tendency is to just dip the belly here because the butt has to be lifted. So be sure that you're engaging with the abdominals. Slightly bend the knees. Inhale all the way up. Palms together. Exhale. Release the hands. As we do our mountain pose, you'll see that this is the easiest way to access. You know, you guys have done like the harder parts of trying to access that breath. This will be the easiest way. If you feel comfortable having your eyes closed as you do this, but it's okay if you don't have them closed, just stare at a spot. And so when we start to do this thoracic breathing, we want to do this for sure. So just keep the shoulders down and just focus on the rib cage. It doesn't have to be super significant. And if you feel like you're straining your diaphragm in any way, which is right below the rib cage, and just breathe regular. Do any of you feel that? Once you've gotten as tall as you can, really feel the feet grounded. Feel like somebody's pulling you through the crown of the head. Keep your length for 2 more breaths. Go ahead and just release everything. Take a break. So we're not doing cardio here, but you are strengthening your cardiovascular system, and you are strengthening your diaphragm and your lungs and all that stuff, doing this kind of thing. Sun salutations, ready? You guys know this one. We do dozens of them. All right, so front of your mat. Don't worry about the thoracic breathing here. We're just matching breath with movement. So inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold. All the way down. Drop the head. Inhale, look up. And exhale, step back. Lower down evenly. Good. Inhale, lift the head, shoulders, chest, unless you want to do up dog. And then exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Doing 5 breaths here. 1, bend the knees a little bit, curl the butt up towards the ceiling. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, look up and step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, hands in front of the head. Okay. One more time that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. And exhale, step back. Lower down. Inhale, up. And exhale, back. 5 breaths. Remember, you can always choose child's pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up, step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Palms together, exhale, hands. Okay, grab the elbows behind the back or the wrists. How far are you getting these days? Forearms?
Depends on the day.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I can get.
I just
yeah,
curious. Okay, because you're, I see other things changing, obviously. Okay, so we're just gonna stretch the neck here and take it easy. Keep the shoulders back. The lower inner edges of the shoulder blades, like the very bottom of your shoulder blades on the inside, press them into the back to lift the chest. Keep the legs strong, like we're in mountain pose, and then look to the right. Over your shoulders as far as you can. And then take your chin to your chest and cross over the chest. So you're looking over your left shoulder. Keep doing this. Notice the difference in the range of motion on the left as opposed to the right. Stop if you feel any knots in your neck. Do a nice smooth all the way up. Let the chin drop all the way. The weight of the head is going to help stretch your cervical spine forward. It's very rare that we want to do it backwards like that. That's not as safe for the neck, unless your neck is really strong. Just look straight forward once you're done. Release the arms. Inhale, bring the arms up. Interlace the fingers and exhale, hips in front of the heart. We're doing that 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, reach up. Nice deep inhale. Exhale. Go sideways on your mat. You can look out the window if you want. You know, because we're always doing right leg up and out for Ashtanga, so we can do it the other way. We're gonna do warrior 2 now. We did warrior 1 with the thoracic breathing. We're gonna try warrior 2. And this is gonna kind of show you if you're squeezing part of your, this side of the body, or if you're balanced right in the middle, you'll be able to feel it in the breath. So pivot the right toes out, so they're gonna face me. Make sure the back toes are in just a little bit. Take your left hand into your left hip and press. So we want this to come down, down, down. And then sometimes the right butt wants to lift. We want to tuck that right buttock down also. Now, arms extend. Your chest is facing off the left side of your mat. And you'll be able to tell if you're here, you're going to feel that. So make sure you're right in the middle. Am I in the center? I think I am. Okay. Try the thoracic breath. Knee stays directly over the second and third toe. Good. Lower down nose and scoop it up. So the legs start to feel heavier as the upper body lifts up, and it just gets more and more, asks more and more of your legs. Take one more breath. And then just bring the hands down to your waist, straighten the right knee, and pivot the toes in. Bring your feet back together. And then come back to the floor. Okay, right leg up and out. So we're gonna do the other side. And then your left toes towards me. This is really just so I can look at your guys' knees, yeah. The inner edge of the foot is straightforward. Even before we bend the knee, the quadriceps are working and the knee is already over the second and third toe. When we use the hand and press into the hip, it just helps keep that lined up. Because if we do it without, the knee will usually always just cave in. So here, if we're focusing on keeping the hip down, it keeps the alignment. Yeah. So once that front knee is bent, take a look at where, like if there were a laser coming out of the middle of your knee, which direction would it be pointing? You want it to be pointing straight over your second and third toe. Good. And drop this a little bit, like scoop your left butt under. Yep. And then fix your knee again, keeping the scoop. Yeah. Good. Does it feel different now? Take one more breath here. Good. Straighten that knee. Bring the toes in, hands down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Come straight down, bring your hands to a block. You need a block. Or bend the knees. Bring the shoulders back. How are your hamstrings doing, Robin? Oh, your legs are pretty darn straight. Yeah, you've gotten really flexible. I remember now. You could even go further, maybe. I mean, I know it's been a little bit, but if you're good, you're good. Take one more breath. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bring your hands to your waist. Inhale all the way up. Hop your feet back together and come back to the front of your mat. How are we doing? Okay? Okay?
I guess I needed that stretch, but it wasn't full stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it gets warmed up pretty quickly, but when you're stretching or strengthening, which you did a lot of strengthening in that class too,
Yeah.
they're sore. We're gonna do Vrikshasana, which is tree pose. We're gonna do it regular with either our foot on the floor or here, never here, or here. Everybody bring their knee up. Right first. Okay, so we'll probably stay here or here today. And mostly because I want to do the thoracic breath while we're in tree pose. So a little bit complicated, right? All the weight is in the left leg. Like feel your leg. The muscles should be strong right now. And then you can keep your toes on the floor, hips forward, and then open the knee. Bring your hands in front of your heart. And then do the thoracic breathing. Nice and slow, just evenly lift yourself away from the pelvis. Good. Do one more. Just go as far as you can and then take a couple of breaths. It requires a lot of abdominal engagement once you're out there. Bring your knee forward. Extend the toes. And then bring the foot down. Extend the leg. Point the toes. Extend the toes. Okay. Yes. Other side. Do this. The words aren't coming. Bend the left knee. Find your tree on your other side. Sometimes we see pictures of people doing tree pose and it's more about the knee being open, and that's really not what it should be. The hips should be forward, because I'm not going to get my hip open if I just follow what my hips are, or the tightness it's already doing, right? So I just bring it out as far as it will go. Hips forward. Find your breath. If your lungs are feeling tight, do regular breathing, it's fine. But if you want to explore it some more, you can explore it some more. Remember to keep the shoulders down as we lift up. Let's do one more. Forward, extend the leg. Nice. That was good. I could be anything really. It could be sunny. It could be too sunny and I can't balance. Whatever. You know? Okay. So we're gonna do one more posture, but I want you to have your blocks for this one. And if you have 2 blocks, even better. This is actually one that we do quite a bit, but ooh, do you guys want that on? Do you prefer it off? Okay, that was too much. All right, so yeah, it is, isn't it? I wasn't sure if it was getting too dark. Okay, so Robin, show me. You have 1 block, right? Okay, that'll be. I'm gonna do it with 1 block, but know that if you have 2 blocks, you're just going to use 2 blocks for your hands instead of 1 block for your hands, okay? So I'm going to do it with 1 block. We're going to put the blocks on the floor, put the left leg back first. This is the one where we, so we're good friends on, so the one where we do the prayer hands behind the back, okay? But you could also just grab back here, as long as you can keep the chest lifted. If this is part of your practice, I would suggest just trying it, you know. So before we even go forward, we're going to use the thoracic breath. We're gonna let this go. Once we're down here, we're gonna come to here anyhow. Okay. All right. So start to do the thoracic breathing. Get as tall as you can. And then on that last inhale and scoop up, start to hinge forward. Keep all the length, When your hamstring stops you, that's when you go for the block. Yeah, good. And if you have 2 blocks, Another option is to just make this higher, so your hamstrings aren't feeling it as much. Now see if you can use that lengthening breath one more time while you're here to get just as long as you can, and then fold over that right leg even more. Yeah, and then shoulders back. Sarah, you can bring your head closer to your knee. You can start doing that. Now we're gonna press the feet into the mat so much that we're spreading the feet away from each other, and that's gonna help us to pop back up to a standing position. So it's like you're spreading the feet, pushing the feet away from each other. Yeah, and that will just kind of engage the right muscles to help you lift. Really engages the butt, right? Okay, hop back to the front. Do the other side. Bring the right leg back. Wrap back your arms to start releasing. And when you're ready, exhale and fold. Bridge hands down. Get as far as you can. Lead with your heart, lead with your chin. And bring your hands down. Good. And if you feel the right hip lifting too much, lower it. Deepen the left groin. Drop the right hip. And Sarah, just drop your head. Yeah. Does that feel okay?
Yes, it just makes me lose balance.
You can still stare at your foot or something like that. Eventually it'll be your knee. And then eventually it'll be your nose. Press your feet away from each other and inhale them all the way up. How does your hamstrings like that one? Hop back to the front of your mat. Was it rough?
Definitely feel it.
Yeah. Okay. Are yours warmed up enough now where it felt better?
I could go farther, I'm still.
Yeah. That's how the change happens. Change happens. There was a gentleman in our class recently, his hamstrings were so tight, you know, I mean, I literally used to have to use, when we were doing forward folds, with my teacher, like my alignment teacher, I had like, my blocks were up to here. That is how tight my hamstrings were. So I felt so bad. I'm like, told this guy, I know exactly how you feel. You're in the right place, and I just practice for you. All right, we're gonna come back down. So separate the feet and just come into a squat. Lift your heels if you need to. Okay, so guys, you can see. Since everyone's knees are okay in here, bring the elbows to the insides of the knees. Yep. You could also drop the butt and sit on the block.
Do we want our feet flat?
Eventually, yeah. As long as the tailbone is dropping towards the mat. And this is your feet, right? Okay, so just go ahead and if it's too much, you can sit down.
I'm trying not to.
Yeah, you're definitely working for sure. Okay. Go ahead and release, hands behind you, or just have a seat. Bring the lights out. All right, I want you to pay attention to your feet pads for a moment and just give them a massage. Like dig on the insides, the outsides. There are times when there's like hidden pains. They might not like pop out to you right away because you have other things that are going on, but doing things like this and things like heels, your heels sometimes will have soreness and you don't know it unless you're digging or doing something. This is just good for the kneecaps. All right, bend the knees, lie down on your back. Supine tree pose, left knee stays, or left leg stays straight, the right heel comes all the way up as high as it can go, and then drop it out to the side. Whoops, with the bent knee foot on the floor, sorry. So like tree pose, but on the ground, yeah. Bring your arms overhead, take a stretch. Keep the left leg active. How does everyone's hips feel? Like, does this feel good?
I don't feel it.
No? Use your butt, push it into your hips, like activate your glutes. Does that help you open it up a little bit?
I think it's just, 'cause it's that hip side is sore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, it's just a little painful.
Go ahead and bring the knee up, straighten the leg. Other side. And come left. You can bring your arms down for this one or keep them up, your choice. So flip it, just slide it up to your sitting bone and drop it out. Just breathe here, keep that right leg active. So this is why you need to get some weights too. So you're not feeling anything here?
When kind of pushing it down.
I feel it on my side.
And that isn't the right side, the side of your head?
Yeah, just,
I mean, sometimes it does just have that cross the body stuff, like your back over on your left side, but it's the right, that's sometimes it's like that. Take another breath or two here. Bring the knee up towards the ceiling, and then straighten that leg. We're gonna hug the knees one more time, bringing it to happy baby if you like, so knees up towards the body, rock left to right, and then start to grab the insides of the legs if you want. And then the last thing we're gonna do, so happy baby, you can grab the insides of the legs here, press the knees down, that's on the hip opener, and rock left to right, or if you can reach the bottoms of the feet, press down. The last thing we're gonna do is bring, cross over the shins, so bring the knees back towards each other, cross your shins, cross your legs, and then try to grab your toes, and pull your toes towards the body. So it's like you're sitting in Sukhasana, easy pose. Yeah, just cross the legs, crisscross, like you'd be sitting crisscross applesauce, and then move the feet towards the body. And then you gotta flip shins. So that was on top, put it on the bottom, and then pull the feet towards you again. It's gonna feel most awkward. Release. Bring the feet down. All right, so here's how we're gonna enter Shavasana today. First I want you guys to get ready for your Shavasana. If you have a sweatshirt you want to put on or socks or anything like that, go ahead and do that now. And then when you're done getting ready for that, lie back down on the back. So we are, like what we did with our feet, with the tapping of the feet, we're gonna do something like that to prepare for Shavasana. It's just like shaking parts of the body to release stagnant energy. And sometimes shaking that energy out of the muscles helps to loosen them up as well. So I'm gonna count down from 10, and you're basically gonna stick your legs up like this and stick your arms up like this, and we're just gonna shake. So go for it. 10, 9, really bend the wrists and ankles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shavasana. awareness back to your breath. When you feel ready, you can begin to slowly wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bring the arms overhead, take a long stretch. And keep the legs really heavy as you start to bend the knees one at a time. Just feel the legs be heavy. Slowly. You can bring the arms down and then move into any other thing that the body is asking for. Even if that's more stillness. When you're ready, you can roll onto your right side. Use your arm as a pillow and we'll just stay here for a moment. Take another breath or two here. Push yourself back to any seated position that's comfortable for you. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Thank you for letting me guide you today. The teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in you. Thank you, Robin. You have a great night.